So after a little break, here comes game 3 against another member of my team, Lambs. He said he didn't want me to say his name, so let's just call him Dan. He's vampire counts, and we got dawn attack scenario, so didn't really affect my deployment actually. Usually it affects me a lot more in a negative way, but this time it was okay. I've faced his army before because we've kind of practiced together, and he's got a lot of ethereal stuff, a lot of nasty stuff that I don't want to fight in close combat. So I basically deployed everything right at the back, and I think I did this right. I think I didn't make too many mistakes this game. It's just his army's really tough for mine to play against, and there's not too many armies that I can say are like that. This is after Vanguard moves. His Hex Wraiths are out on the right there. They really give me problems, and they're really good, and I think more vampire counts should use them in the same way that my opponent here does. He's got a big horde of Graveguard with great weapons. That just I can't fight that with any of my army. Demigryphs get mulched, especially with the vampire in there. He's got some dogs. He's got 3 separate units of spirit hosts, so just really nasty stuff for my army. So because I won the roll off to deploy first, in dawn attack, that means you get to go first, unless your opponent can roll a 6, which my opponent did not. So basically, I just point the steam tank in a direction where I could just try and snipe his general. My block of halberds moves up, so my wizard's within 24 inches, so I can start chain lightning and thunderbolt-ing the ethereal stuff, because that's really the only defense I have. And my knights shimmied up a bit to fight the dogs if they come close, and my archers kind of booked it towards the tower. So after getting 2 spells off, I rolled a d6 for how many wounds I could do, and I rolled a 1, so I killed 1 Hex Wraith. And I think this is from a cannon trying to snipe his general. Killed a couple of Graveguard, but he passed his lookout, sir. Hellblaster opened up onto the dogs, but rolled a misfire, so I halved my shots, and I killed 4 out of 6. So Vampire's turn 1. His Hex Race, I think this is the turn where he fails a charge on the knights. Yeah, he only ends up moving 3 inches or something like that. I'm giving him no room to fly over my stuff and do a bunch of damage without armor saves allowed. The dogs charge my archers, and I stand and shoot. I don't kill any. And the rest of his army kind of moves up. Spirit hosts are getting into position to lock down my shit, because I can't fight them. And yeah, everything's just advancing up. His magic phase, I think he just got back the Graveguard that he lost. Makes sense. And that's about it for that. So here, I am missing pictures of my turn 2. I'm not sure what the hell happened, but yeah. I think I tried to cast more spells. Oh, that's right. I got a really good casting attempt on a chain lightning on his Hex Race, and he whipped out his Dispel Scroll. So I don't think I did anything. I might have shot some more Graveguard, and I think I killed the dogs in that combat, and they crumbled. So in his turn, the Hex Race get into my steam tank, and I'm okay with this, sort of. Even though he ignores my armor saves, his big scary unit's being held up by my big scary unit, and that means I can focus on the rest of his army. But it gives me time. So other stuff's moving up. I've been stopping Van Hel's every turn too, making sure that he doesn't come closer. Oh, that's what happened. The archers went into the tower in my turn. Other than that, I think I just backed up with most of my stuff. I need as many turns as I can just to not deal with him in combat, because he will tar pit me down. Yeah. Okay, so it must have been this turn too. He actually charged the archers in the building. And I was okay with that, because they're only zombies charging them, and I'm stubborn in the building, because building rules are broken. So he does a wound to my steam tank, it looks like. Not too bad, all things considered. So now we're back to my turn 3. This time I actually remember to take pictures. I think I reformed the knights just so they're not stuck. Just to prepare to take on the Graveguard if he decides to charge out. My opponent's a very, very calculated player, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. A little frustrating when people take a long time during their turn, but I just gotta push him a little bit, and he gets it. He's also relatively new with this army. Looks like I got the Spirit Host here down to 1 wound from spell. And after shooting, I took about half the Graveguard off, it looks like. Or maybe a little less than half. I was getting some pretty nice Hellblaster rolls here. Takes another wound off the steam tank in close combat. Stop saying Arthur! Stop saying Alright. His turn 3. He moves a Spirit Host, so I can't charge the back of his Hex Wraith. I'm not sure if that would have been very good for me anyway. I would have got 2 to the combat res, but he would have done some wounds, and I'd probably just end up running. This Spirit Host comes in to block the Demigriffs, but I'm okay with that. I have a banner and a charge if I charge him, and he won't be able to do anything to me. I'll just pop him on combat res. The rest of his stuff kind of moves up, but I think he's being a little bit cautious. The Spirit Host here gets in the way of the knights to the far left. Sorry, you can't really see where that picture is, but they're on the hill to the left of my cannon and Hellblaster. He gets off Van Hells on everything, so his zombies will be re-rolling hits against my archers and probably kill them. Hey, look at that, they killed them. And they're in the building. We didn't keep the models there because we didn't want them to fall off the top of the tower, but there they are. So, my turn, I do indeed charge the Spirit Host with the Demigriffs. It's not going to be too shabby there. And I think looks like I Shard Blizzard onto the Graveguard just to make him hit a little less in case they decide to charge. Now here I was faced with a dilemma. I didn't know which direction to face because I'm worried if he gets a good roll he might take out the steam tank and then I might eat a Hex Wraith charge in the flank. So I kind of have to face everyone as much as possible. It's just not ideal. So in his turn 4, he charges the Hex Wraith, or sorry, the Spirit Hosts into both of my Knight units. That's a horrible trade for me, but what can I do? I need more magic weapons in this list. But then, I'm just tailoring my list to fight one army. And honestly, Vampire Counts is probably my worst matchup. I lose more of my games against Vampire Counts than anyone else, I think. His zombies move out of the building. His Graveguard, I think, reform in this next picture. Yeah. And he jumps ship with his Vampire into the ghouls. So, good play. My opponent is not making any mistakes, that's for sure. He's been doing his research on this kind of stuff, I think. And holy crap, a caterpillar thing just landed on my knee and scared the shit out of me. Wow, it's one of those ones that make, like, dust cocoons. Anyway, random. I don't know why this picture's showing, it's basically the same thing. The Spirit Host on the left beats my knights in combat, and my knights run off the board, and the one on the right does nothing, and I pass my leadership check. Yeah, things are not looking good. So, in my final turn, spoiler, I decide to charge in my block against the Graveguard. I'm thinking I can kill them and overrun, but of course, he targets out my characters and killing blows my BSB and my wizard, and at that point I just shake his hand. I'm like, okay, I give up. There's not much I can do. For the record, he just wanted to do his attacks on the steam tank, and he did not kill it that turn, but it was inevitable. I was not going to be able to fight that out. And just generally frustrated about the ethereal. 4 units of ethereal stuff is very, very hard to deal with. But I'm getting a taste of my own medicine because I'm the one who told him to split his Spirit Hosts up like that instead of putting them in one unit, because it's just so much better. And as he's part of my team, I want him to do well as well, especially when we go to bigger events. just hopefully I won't have to play him, because my army doesn't do too good. Although in larger point values, I'll have more magic weapons, have more things to deal with him, other than just my one wizard. It was pretty shitty luck that one turn, the first turn, only getting one wound on the hex race. I think if I would have managed to take more of them off, or even just not get dispelled or something like that with my other spell, I would have had a lot easier time dealing with them, and then I could have focused my attention on the spirit hosts after they were gone. Also, the knights charging into the flank, the rear of them, would have been something I'd more likely have done. Less attacks back means that my flank rear charge might actually crumble a couple of them, and once they start crumbling like that, then they just get worse and worse. Anyway, I'm gonna take this caterpillar off my knee now. He's an inchworm, actually. Summary coming up soon.